leadership concepts in the Matrix. Um, so the main theme of the Matrix is really mentorship, and well, not just mentorship, but your own mind. In the in the Matrix, there's the real world, and there's the fake world, which is a simulation of the world that we now know, or the world of the '90s. Um, so Neo, he brings he's brought in by Morpheus into this role, and really there's different kinds of mentors. There's mentors that want to create permanent inequality, so that they can be dominant over their subjects, and then there's mentors that want to create temporary inequality, like such as a parent. I know that my dad has said to me before, like, son, like I in life have like managed to get a little further than my dad, so that I could be in a place to put you to get a little further than your dad. And of course, that is what I hope for my son, so that the Reno legacy can actually mean something even more than we ever thought it could. Um, you know, from his dad, coming up from having almost nothing to being able to send his kids to college, to my dad to pursuing a job as an architect, to me to pursuing a job hopefully as an artist and to become something successful and known, that my kids could be pushed even further, that we wouldn't lose that. So it's important to not be threatened by your rank, by the rank of someone under you. And I think that really the best way to test that is by the servant leadership. Are they willing to give up their rank for other people? And Morpheus is such a mysterious character, you don't really know until he lets himself be captured so that the rest of the crew can escape, and he lets himself be captured in the simulation world. And that's really what servant leadership is about. That's the picture of Jesus, I think, and how he gives up his life, in John it says there's no greater love than this, that a man would give up his life for his friends. So Morpheus lays down his life and lets um, lets himself be captured so that Neo and Trinity and the rest can escape. So really, it's a touching scene. Um, so, and really, one of the first concepts we talked about, Burns, transforming versus transactional. Neo's mentorship um, with Morpheus or Morpheus mentoring Neo is transformative. It's he's pushing him to have that intrinsic motivation to want to go save his own race. It's not just sort of all right, so like if you do this, you'll get this, and if you do this, you'll get this. It's like you got to understand what we're fighting for, so you know that you could lose everything, but you want to do it. And I think from the beginning, letting him have his own choice, like from do you want the red pill or the blue pill? I think that very much describes that transformational. Starting off that intrinsic motivation in Neo. Um, talking about but going back to Miller and talking about the student participantship, it was interesting because the scene where they were doing martial arts and they're in that dojo that they've created in their own minds. Um, it really reminded me of my own experience as a martial artist, and I'm sure you're aware of this, Patterson. And like when I trained people and people trained me, and I think that seeing people surpass my skills or surpassing someone else's skills is actually to a really great mentor, like that is as with the family legacy thing, it is one of the best things you can experience. um and really, Morpheus just challenges Neo again and again, and like I said, you don't really realize how great his heart is until he lays down his life for the others. So and I think that one of the kind of key scenes is Neo is kind of told that he might not be the chosen one, because that was the whole thing when Morpheus brings him in. He's like, we think that you're the chosen one. You're the, or that's Star Wars. I think I think it's also called the chosen one in the Matrix. I know, um, but it's like self fulfilling prophecy. Neo has to believe that he is the chosen one, whether or not a prophet tells him that he might be the chosen one. Neo has to believe it for himself. It's self-efficacy, self-fulfilling prophecy. Whether you believe you can or not or cannot, like, you'll be right. And I think, because, the chosen one is a theme throughout a lot of things, like Harry Potter, the boy who lived, or Star Wars, the chosen one being Anakin Skywalker, and him bringing balance to the Force. He has to believe that for himself. The chosen one is something that's brought up in the prequels, but it's not until, until that scene in Return of the Jedi when Luke says, "I feel the conflict within you," and Vader says, "There is no conflict," but there is, and he is able to. As Vader is someone that as the chosen one, he was told he was the chosen one growing up, but then turned to the dark side really because he had no father figure. But then, the Emperor kind of became his father figure in a very sick and twisted way. Which, by the way, that's kind of a Sith thing to like keep, that permanent inequality. You want it. You want to. That's the Sith rule. Like one to embody the power, one to crave it. Until the other one will kill the other one and become the next Sith. So like Palpatine wants to keep his power, but Vader is able to, in the end, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because he fulfills it himself, because his son believes that he is good, and then he is able to believe that he can be good, and then he brings balance to the Force when he finally overthrows the Emperor, and that is, it's such a similar concept to Neo, and how he has to believe that he's the chosen one, and when he starts to use his powers in this new world, he is able to go back and rescue his old mentor. He is able to fight these villains that are coming at him, and with almost effortlessly, and he's jumping out of helicopters, and he's doing martial arts moves with one arm, and he's making all these things that are possible. And with the mentorship, there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. You have to be the role model. Like, Neo wouldn't have known he could do all this martial arts stunts if he hadn't seen Morpheus do them. And that open communication and accessibility, he's able to ask questions to his mentor. And then, of course, independence and collaboration. He learns other things from working with other people on the Nebuchadnezzar ship. I think because of this, Neo is able to become he's able to surpass his mentor because Morpheus set him up for success that way.